Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched The Real Housewives of Miami.
Sure did. Yeah, I had trouble with that Miami.
I did. Well, because I usually say we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Miami. It's so weird how much of this comes down to muscle memory. I make it seem like we do this all the time, but I guess we've been doing it for over like 180 episodes or so.
That's true.
So,
for
I mean,
like 18 months.
Yeah, so... thanks for joining us. We've been, if you've seen us on social media this week, it's because we're obnoxious. And no, we just want to get the word out there. So if you found us on social media and you're here checking us out for the first time, thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We're not like those other podcasts that just say they appreciate it. We really, really do. And we enjoy all the feedback and the different comments that we're getting about the show and everything. It's pretty damn good.
It's really nice. Thanks.
Yeah, it is. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then, Miami was a good episode.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more invested. I have thoughts.
Well, now you have a reason to actually dislike Julia. You're just like, all right, now I can be totally team Guerdy.
Well, we're going to get to that because, girl. Nope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was thinking it starts, though, with Alexia finding this venue for Marysol's wedding. Well, her a party for the wedding. Yes.
So I don't understand, like, so her and Marysol and Steve aren't actually married until now? Like,
they weren't legally married.
So they would just have weddings for the fun of it?
Without
like,
inviting
twice?
friends or family. So, like, Scotland and then some other place.
So then they were just trying to do, like, a McDreamy and a, like, Meredith thing where they got posted married numerous times? Like, they just got married where it matters for themselves?
Oh, I don't know about that story. I didn't watch Grey's. Yeah.
One of the only people on this planet that didn't watch Grey's.
Oh, I can find some others.
Straight men.
People who don't like the fray. No. Yeah. So they.
How to Save a Life?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, the fray? Like, is that a show? And I was like, okay.
The fray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, they wanted to make it legal because getting older and having, say so over your significant other and something happens. And
I'm familiar with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm, yeah. So, yeah. So they decided, let's get married at the courthouse and go in on a motorcycle without a helmet. Without a helmet. It made me nervous.
Well, I mean, that's probably how she got a sty. Something probably flew into her eye while she was...
She should have put the veil down.
I know, that would have helped. Although, I think, I don't know, like sometimes they're making too many innuendos, and I think...
You think?
Yeah. And so, was Marysol trying to suggest that, like, Steve got something in her eye, and that's why she had to stop?
Oh, I didn't...
That's what I was thinking she was saying.
Ew, no.
I was like, oh, yeah. We got busy on the night, their wedding night, and then I woke up the next day and I had this in my eye. Like, that's what she seemed to be suggesting.
I think you're taking this to a low-class place like Julia.
Oh, am I?
And we don't need that. No, I think it just got a sty after the wedding and had the eye patch. But before we get to that...
Ironically, my mom would always say that the way you cure a sty in your eye is that you spit on your wedding ring and then rub it on your eye. So
I've heard that before.
It's definitely an old wives' tale, but
yes.
my mom would swear by it. And because she no longer had a wedding ring, she had my dad's old wedding ring that she had chopped into earrings. It was just a simple gold band. She had it cut in half into 2 earrings. So she'd get those earrings and spit on them and rub them in my eye when I was a kid. So
did you have a lot of styes as a kid?
Not a lot, but
I never had one. I had pink eye, and yeah.
I don't even know how. Yeah,
in high school,
a couple styes.
Yeah,
so
pink eye was bad.
The best part of having a sty in your eye is that it rhymes, and so you can be like, I'm a guy with a sty in his eye. But anyway, meanwhile,
yes, that's the best part. So basically, so she gets the venue. Alexia does. She cries about Todd some more. Oh God. What she called Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
If I was her, I'd be like, production, really?
Yeah,
no one's giving me a heads up that she's not in town because her father died. Thanks for that.
Right.
Now I look like an asshole. But yes, Lisa's father died. She went to Canada. We see her there. I'm surprised that she was still filming.
Yeah.
After the whole thing, but it's her life. It's her experience.
Yeah.
I guess a little mini crew went to Canada with her.
Yeah, I guess it did look that way.
Yeah. Like it wasn't the handheld. It wasn't Jody.
They sent one guy.
They sent one guy. One camera guy, one sound guy. So yeah, that was, I mean, maybe she talked about this more last season, but I didn't know the history that he was an alcoholic, and that was part of the reason why they had a fractured relationship. And it is sad that they didn't get a lot of time together once they reconciled. So,
Yeah, having not watched previously and also not having the greatest relationship with my own father, it's really hard for me to be like, oh, yeah, that sucks. I mean, as a human being, I can understand.
Yes, that's for her. Yes, but I think like you couldn't.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh yeah, dads are important, that sort of thing. So the only way I'm gonna realize the importance of fatherhood is by becoming one myself someday. So
there you go.
So yeah. So
there's that. What else happened? Julia.
Guerdy and Kiki went stretching.
Right. And Kiki tried to like kind of prep. Oh, sorry. Before we get to that, you were saying Friends get a lot of airtime on this show compared to other housewives.
The Friends are lifting a lot of weight on this show.
I mean, the fact that like there's a wedding and then
it was a wedding for a friend of.
Yes.
And then Kiki was on doing her thing, and then even Adriana had
a whole lot. Well, Adriana's scene at least was with Julia.
No, but wasn't she? Oh, but there was a lot of.
There was like a tiny little moment at the beach
with
she went
with her French. Adriana, I don't know anything about her. I really don't know, but she just makes the most obvious sexual innuendo about
his French sausage.
Yeah,
wink, wink.
Also, like French sausage isn't like a thing. Like
if he was Italian
or if he was Polish or something,
yes.
You get it. But now, like French sausage, like
sausage a la Francais.
Yeah,
no,
just like
no.
So I mean, maybe she doesn't understand the turn of phrase or whatever. She's just like, he's French. I love it.
Oui, oui.
Yeah. So
that's where you go. Oui, oui. That's oui, oui.
You don't want to describe someone's wee wee as being wee.
And also wee wee also sounds like very like a something you'd say about a kid.
Yeah, that's true as well. So.
Yeah.
Well, isn't he probably so much younger than her? He does seem younger, right?
I mean, he doesn't look that much younger. But I don't know her age, but like he seems like he's like in his 40s, so she might be in her. I would assume she's like in her 50s or so.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because he's French or if because she's insane. That every time she says something, like when she's like, "I'm gonna go be topless in the ocean," and he's like looking at her like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it's
go for it. Go for it.
People
lady.
are butt naked in France on every beach, but
although that didn't seem to be like a place where nakedness was like encouraged.
I mean, they didn't like pan over. We didn't see if there are any other naked people. But I guess because it's Miami, you just assume people
just do what they want.
Certain beaches, not every beach, because it's also very family oriented.
Is it?
Well, maybe that's other places in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway,
it's a concept.
Yeah, I don't understand.
But yeah, it's between her like having a little moment. Like, of course, the whole episode was built around Marysol's wedding. And then Kiki having that moment with her daughter and her mom talking about her estranged father. Forgot about that.
Does every city have an ice cream museum, too? Or some Instagram museum, basically?
So I'm sure.
And that kid wanted some chocolate. For sure. Like, lady, quit offering me other flavors.
I love this. This is for you. No, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I was so polite. No, ma'am. It's not for me. That is vanilla. I want chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked how she's like, you can try other flavors.
Funny. I do not like chocolate. Any ice cream doesn't really agree with me, but I only like vanilla ice cream. But I prefer like...
How shocking.
Well, let me get to that point. But I like... everything else is chocolate, ice cream, cake, cookies, brownies. Like I don't like a vanilla cake really. Right. I'll eat it, but I don't like it. But only vanilla ice cream. That's me. So I would have accepted the vanilla ice cream from the lady, but I probably would like only had a little bit because ice cream does not agree with me.
Do you want to tell the listeners what your favorite Girl Scout cookie is?
The plain one.
Yeah. Do you want to tell our listeners what your favorite donut is?
The plain one?
Do you want to tell everyone how much you love graham crackers this week?
I do. Well, not this week.
Just in general.
In general.
Yeah,
well, they're honey graham crackers.
And then I guess I missed the opportunity to say, do you also want to tell people what your favorite husband is? And you say the plain one. Oh, well.
The plain white one.
The plain white boring one.
It's not boring, but I do like plain white things.
Is that all I am to you? A fetish? How dare you?
That might be someone's fetish, and that's just wrong. People are people. They're not objects.
I mean, I can be an object.
No, I wouldn't. No. No. You're a person.
So, meanwhile, yes, the friends are doing a lot on the show.
Doing a lot.
Kiki and Guerdy went stretching.
Yes.
Which looks nice. Like, I could use, like, when I used to get
Pilates, right?
No,
or no,
Pilates. That was just a stretch studio.
Yeah.
Becoming popular, and it always worries me because I get massages a lot. And back in the day, like, because I'm very inflexible, and I'm not flexible at all. Oftentimes, like during a massage, they would like stretch my hamstrings and like, does that feel good? And it does. But I feel like now that they're professional stretching parlors, like instead of massage parlors, like they're just basically saying, hey, Americans, you're not very...
Parlor has like a dirty connotation. It's like we're back on like the deuce.
All right. So the fact that they have stretch studios,
Thank
will
you.
That make
Studio,
you happy?
Yes.
Stretch labs and lasers.
Studio.
But so yeah, no, I could go for a stretch, but it looked like Kiki was like, yeah, come on, bring it like that. Again, it was just a little too juvenile of joke.
Yeah, a little too obvious.
Also, like, I would be, I don't know, maybe it's just internalized, gay shame at times. But like, if I had a guy on top of me stretching me out like that, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, get in there. Like, it would just be weird. Like, that's the man's job.
Right. That's the other thing too. It's like, it's not sexy for them. It's just a day at the office.
Yeah.
So stop trying to make it what it's not.
It's also the same way when like Luann starts hitting on people on old New York.
Oh, or how they would. Oh, and Sonia.
Yeah,
too.
Sonia. Just
or like with the house man girls trip.
Yes.
How they get like, objectified.
Yeah. I mean,
we could go on and on.
Yeah, we could.
But no,
I'm also the same guy who has a hard time like putting dollar bills in a stripper's G-string. So I mean, and that's literally what he's there to get. And I'm just like, oh, I can't. No.
No story. I'm going to place this down here.
Yeah.
You get it.
It's like, no.
I'm going to put it in your sock.
Oh, I'm not going to. No, I can't touch your butt. I'm sorry. So anyway,
it's like a variation of May. Oh no, I can't do that.
I got some issues. I got issues.
But the stretching thing was really more so about, and this is,
Get started.
Kiki telling Guerdy, to not basically be extra and trying to prep her for having a proper conversation with Julia about their differences. So I don't know the history of Guerdy and how extra she might be. We've heard some things on Reddit today. You're reading some things. So I just don't think she is that extra as she's being painted out to be, especially when we get to that scene towards the end. So I was kind of like, I'm an adult. Why are you prepping me? And we'll see.
It just seemed to me like it was kind of your standard Housewives like update. Like, yeah, just so like
this is what Julia's saying about you.
Julia's saying some stuff about you, and I just want you to be prepared, and like I want you to like not, I want you to be cool so that you don't explode and you don't take it somewhere that's not productive.
The thing about this whole, I don't give a damn about this boat story. It's it all happened off camera. Apparently, it was like a year earlier.
Right.
And again, why are you waiting so long? Because we're filming,
right,
to bring this up. But it just seems so stupid about like this itinerary, that itinerary. She wanted to be there for whatever reason. She got on the boat for you, okay? She just gotten off another boat with her own family trip, and now she's doing you a solid. But you're making it seem that she like was desperate to get on this boat with you. I don't believe it, because I think Julia's a liar.
But you don't really know one way or another, though.
No, but I just have a feeling that something in the buttermilk ain't clean with that lady. Like, as Phaedra would say.
Yeah.
I just don't get a clean buttermilk feeling from her.
Do you get a clean buttermilk feeling from very many people on a regular basis?
Not this chick.
I mean, but also we should remember that we don't like buttermilk. Remember, we had buttermilk pancakes. We're like, these taste weird.
We put buttermilk in that cake.
Yeah. It was really, really weird. Didn't taste good. So yeah, whenever you say something about buttermilk ain't clean, I'm just like, well, we don't like buttermilk.
But if I'm going to get it, I want it clean.
Well, that's true. Most milk I want clean.
Yeah. So we get to did anything else happen before the party?
I don't think so. I mean, we had more time with Jody and Lisa.
Yeah, talking about her dad.
And
then the Guerdy scene.
What was out of place on the entire show, and I said it was whatever bedroom they were in Canada, just had those folding closet doors.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm used to everything on Housewives being so kind of modern and glamorous that I was just like, wow, whose like rumpus room are they? Like it just looked out of place, noticeably out of place.
Right.
Like it'd be like if they were in a room and had popcorn ceiling. You'd be like, wait, what show are we watching? Is this an old episode of House Hunters? I don't get it.
Well, then the other thing, actually sticking to them, this idea that production and Larsa are trying to like paint that he is taking over Lisa's life and trying to be her manager and insinuating himself because he's trying to get her money, which is like all the women were just like, whoa, you went from 0 to like 500. You know, you could just be like, oh, he's just being weird. Why does he have to be so involved? He's controlling, not he wants her money.
Right.
Like her dead dad's money, if there is alleged money.
Yeah.
It would seem like that's kind of gross because like her dad just died.
Right.
And also obviously trying to put him as a cokehead with look at his eyes.
Right.
And every woman was like, it was just a flash. You know, that, or like, I love how Alexia was
just
like,
his face.
That was Alexia. Yeah. That's how Jody does it.
That's just how he looks. Yeah.
That's how he does it with his face.
Yeah, I mean, his eyes are pretty bulgy to begin with.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think that's anything. But the size of his pupil, yeah, that's the flash.
But it's just funny how, like, production kind of ran with it. And then the other women were like, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't.
Or like they would need to, like, talk to Lisa about it. Like, is he, you know, on your bank account, you know, because they're just kind of like, whatever.
Right.
But then.
And it's not not their business, not their money. Go ahead and
exactly. I don't really.
Lisa wants to let
and how
happen.
Close are you? I don't know how close people are to one another. I don't know like where the friendships are. So that's why I'm like, do you really care about Lisa? Like, are you that whatever? Because it's not the women I'm used to,
right?
You know. So I'm like, okay. So yes, then we get to this whole thing with Guerdy and Julia.
Which is weird because Julia just seemed to go and come out of nowhere.
And she was like, so like, you're trying to produce me. You heard her say,
yeah.
Like, you're there producing. Because it's like, let's just sit down. You sit there. And she's like, you're producing. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I love how Guerdy is like, can someone please point out that you say I'm extra, but look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this chick go. Like I said one word and she's flying off the handle and jumping up. Like she was really getting in Guerdy's face. And the amount of self-control that Guerdy had, because obviously this one was trying to provoke her. And it kept escalating to the point where Guerdy walked away and Julia chased her.
Yeah.
She wanted Guerdy to do something. And I'm so glad Guerdy didn't give her the satisfaction of mollywhopping her.
Well, I do like that, Kiki was trying to,
diffuse it.
But then, like, Guerdy was just like, I'm not that kind of person. You don't got to worry about me. I'm not.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, pull me away.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, like.
I'm not going to punch this woman.
I'm not going to go Monique on her.
Yeah.
But then with so they like go into the whole like boat talk, and then Julia flips out and like throws a drink, and it's like these are my.
She didn't throw a drink. She kind of like.
It was just like.
Well, what was that? She like waved a drink and just like made sure maximum amount of water got on her. It was a really weird way to throw a drink.
It was. It's like you throw a drink. Hello, your housewife, you should know. It's like boom, like one motion.
Yeah.
And she was just like all erratic. And like Kiki's in the middle, like, what are you doing? Like, you're getting me wet. So here are more thoughts on this for me. It's so freaking tacky to throw a drink on somebody. Like you're now in the gutter with Mia Thornton. Okay? That's where you are, Julia. And look what happened to her. 1. 2, the fact that none of those women said anything aside from like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh no, Julia. Screw that. She threw a drink on this woman. If it had been you would have flipped out, Alexia.
Yeah.
Marysol. But they're like, oh no, oh, don't do that. And Guerdy 3 is like just sitting there, like, what just happened? You could tell she's like, I want to hit her so bad, but I'm not going to get kicked off the show, get arrested, and look like an asshole like this chick. And so she sat in her seat and she continued on to have the conversation. And I think the other woman just also didn't know what to do with that, because normally, you would walk off. Although I was thinking about it, like with the whole Mia Wendy situation, Wendy didn't leave either. She was just like, what the hell? Then like, where's security too, by the way? Why was it just Kiki like fending off Julia? Security should have come in and separated them.
Well,
they don't have security in Miami.
They may not. They may not.
Potomac, they were right there and grabbed Mia before she could like escalate things with Wendy, besides the drink throwing and hitting her with their purse.
This is a private party, and so maybe there wasn't one around. Maybe production didn't have, I don't know.
No, it's production. They always have security.
It's a different production.
Yeah,
so
a low class.
No,
not low class, but like just unprepared.
So as much as I loathe to talk about things that didn't happen on camera, i.e. this entire boat trip, Julia can't be making it all up, not all of it, and Guerdy can't Guerdy has to be. I'm just saying, Guerdy has to be saying something that's pissing her off, other than just
the truth.
I tend to agree with you, but there has to be something that she's doing that's like a thread. I don't know.
What she's doing is she's derailing Julia's storyline, because that was what Julia's trying to spin, because she has nothing else. She can't bring those boys out on camera. One.
Right.
Two, Martina doesn't really seem like she's like up for filming.
Right.
So it's like she's trying to make a situation with the fan favorite who just survived cancer.
So I don't know enough what's going on, and I don't feel like you truly know enough what's going on.
I know
to really
enough
be this decisive,
because I have a feeling that Julia is not in the right here, and there's something really shady about her. And this approach of trying to make Guerdy seem like this asshole who was making all these demands and was trying to be an opportunist and like trying to get camera time or time with freaking Captain Sandy, it just seems like bullshit.
I agree with you there, because if it seems that what Julia's most pissed off about is that she's on this trip with Guerdy. Guerdy knows something is wrong with Martina, and Guerdy wasn't like, how is she? And it wasn't like making a big thing. It wasn't like being, falling all over herself, being thankful. Thanks for bringing me on this trip. Thanks for being on this trip. And I can see how that could upset somebody, but at the same time, you asked her to come on the trip. I don't believe that Guerdy was like, I don't believe Guerdy was like, let me come with you. She was like, oh, honey, I can see it being, honey, like, I'm sorry Martina's not feeling up for it. Like, I would love to go with you if you need someone to go with you. Like, that sort of offer.
Emotional support.
I don't think that she was like, oh, I want to go on this cruise because I need another cruise.
And I want this, that, and this. And like, I better be at like every table I want to be at. But
the fact that like, I can see there being truth in that Julia was like, come be with me. You take Martina's place for the trip. We'll do all the same stuff we had planned. And the fact that the plans changed just because Guerdy was there and not Martina, that could be frustrating. It's like, I thought you said we were going to do everything that
I see. Like planned. When Julia, the one point that I thought Julia was being honest about was when she said that certain things changed because it wasn't Martina.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't just like insert person.
Right.
It was like this person didn't want to do something because Martina wasn't involved.
Right.
That I understand. But I think everything else about like Guerdy making these demands and wanting just, to do this purely for selfish reasons doesn't add up to me.
I agree with you on that.
And something just seems really shifty and shady about Julia.
I think I think that Guerdy probably did behave in some of the ways, like literally behaved in some of the ways that Julia is describing, but the tone is not the way Julia is describing it.
I will give you that.
That like probably she was taking a lot of social media stuff, but it was probably under like the whole like, we're here to have fun and like, if I'm gonna be on this trip, I'm gonna make the most of it.
Right.
Then Julia is making it out to be like, well, if I'm on this trip, I'm gonna go ahead and do it all about me, like, which is not the same thing,
Right. It's yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yes.
So yeah,
I really don't believe that Guerdy would not say bupkis about Martina in her situation.
Unless the situation where, again, it's like
Julia's giving her all the information, because this is what I also see. Julia does not give everyone all the information. I'll tell you later, or you'll hear about it in the press. If you have time to dictate, you'll hear about it in the press. You have time to dictate to your phone. I adopted 2 kids. That's bullshit.
But what I'm getting at, though, is that if it was a situation where, something's going on with Martina, I don't want to talk about it, then the rest of the trip, I'm not going to be like, so how's Martina? How's Martina? You don't want to talk about it?
Exactly.
How's Martina?
Exactly.
So if that's the situation, and I can very well see it being that way, then I wouldn't be asking people, like, how's it going? I'd be waiting for you to offer up information when you're comfortable offering it up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I will say the one thing, because I'm not going to be completely like, oh my God, Guerdy is like totally in the right. When she made that comment about Julia getting a facelift while Martina was having chemo, that was a low blow. You didn't need to go there, honey.
I mean, I'm kind of glad she went.
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was a great step back. But like, if you want to be on the
right side of history, so to speak.
Not the right side of history, but like be on the right, just in general.
Be on the high road.
Yeah, the high road. Then you don't need to go down low with this woman who is in the gutter again.
But, I mean, it does prove the point. You make it seem like Mia was like a piece of trash.
She wasn't a trash, but she was in the gutter for what she did. There were times I really liked Mia. I wouldn't have minded her coming back this season of Potomac. But when she threw that drink on Wendy and tried to hit her with her purse, you're in the gutter.
You're
getting violent, throwing drinks. It's just, you don't do that anymore in Housewives.
No.
So I don't care. And then when freaking they keep going on with this party, and Julia's like, I just feel so embarrassed. I'm so whatever. And like Larsa's comforting. I'm like, Larsa, this chick was the one who did the thing. Like, why aren't you asking, are you okay, Guerdy? You had a drink thrown on you. It just seems like they all just left Guerdy hanging out there. And if I was her, I'd be really pissed off. Like, those aren't good friends. I think Kiki might have been the best of them, but even she was just like, well, I don't know why I didn't leave, because why should I leave? The person who threw the drink should leave. She's the problem. She was the problem from the get-go.
Yeah.
I said one word and she flew out the handle.
Yeah, and I agree in that.
Tell her to get her shit together and leave.
Julia definitely seemed like she was trying something, and when it didn't work, she realized how foolish it made her look, and then she had time to reflect on it in her own head and was just like, I don't like how this went. Like, I need to do something, and then couldn't.
But I guarantee in the next episode, she will make it all about how Guerdy, like, she was even saying it on this episode, how Guerdy got her this place. You got yourself to that place because you know you're wrong. You know this is a total act, and you're shady, and you're shifty, and you're a liar. I don't like you. I might change my mind as the season goes on, but right now, I'm totally with Guerdy and calling her Judas.
Yeah, I don't see. Again, with the whole thing, like some of the Julia just doesn't seem fun, and so it's easy to
she's irritating.
It's easy to dislike her, or it's not easy to dislike her, but it's easier to not think of her lightly. Like, because she just seems very grave and stoic and very.
Well, she goes grave and stoic. Then she was like totally like, oh my God, happy congratulations, and like flying around and like.
I think she had to have had a few drinks at that point.
Perhaps, and there was like a time lapse we just didn't see.
Yeah. So, but
yeah, I really hope Guerdy like calls these women out and says, like, what's going on? Like, you half-assed, says you shouldn't have done that to me. Like, I swear, if Julia had done that to Alexia or Marysol or Larsa, it would be like, oh my goodness, the worst thing has happened.
Do you think it's a black thing?
No, I think it's just an asshole thing. And a not good friend thing.
Got it.
So I'm not going to go there until it's, because I don't have all the facts.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to like claim that because I don't have all the facts in that. I just think like from what I saw at that table, it wasn't being a good friend, not asking how your friend who got, the drink thrown on her is doing, and comforting the dipstick who threw the drink on her.
Do you know if like historically on the show, like are any of the other women like actually close to Guerdy, or is it just been Julia and Guerdy?
I don't know. Well, it's like is
it a Gina and Emily sort of thing?
Well, I think it should be, because we saw in the flashback that supposedly Adriana is Julia's best friend. So I don't know the dynamics. I could Google it.
And who doesn't like Adriana and was so glad she wasn't
Marysol.
There? Marysol?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but
yeah, I think that just goes back to like the original days of this show, because she and Alexia and Lisa, the four of them were the OGs.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't know, but I guess we'll learn, and shifting dynamics, and every season they always say like the dynamics are shifting. It's like, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Otherwise it's stale.
Yeah, excuse me. I'm sorry. I still don't really have strong opinions about anyone. Like,
I'll have them for you.
You very much are. I'm liking Guerdy. I think she does seem to be the most straightforward of them all.
Yes.
I don't feel like she's...
And Kiki.
Yeah, and Kiki. Yeah. And oddly, Marysol, I'm fine with. I didn't think I liked Marysol as much as I do.
Because I don't think we totally loved them on Girls Trip.
Right. Yeah, for various reasons. Mainly that there was just the two of them, kind of the same way it was Tara and Vicky the entire time. It's not as good.
Yeah.
But I'm holding strong with what we talked about earlier, that Shannon Bedore owned that dress, like you said.
Yes.
The motorcycle dress. And that when she's riding around the motorcycle, it could have been like, as you coined this one, you said it could be like if Shannon and Sutton had a child. Marysol.
Marysol, for sure.
It's mainly for the knock knees that they have, right?
The knock knees. I didn't say all that.
Well, no.
That was
I'm putting some words in your mouth, but
I'm saying that
I'm having opinions for you.
Saying that from the heels to the dress, that was very much Shannon's look.
Yeah.
And Sutton would have done it just more expensive.
And with some weird
It'd be Dolce & Gabbana with a crown.
So I have to commend you. You've kept the likes to a minimum.
Oh, really?
On this, yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
But I think it's because you have some strong opinions.
Yes.
I think when you're,
trying to search for a word.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you're, what's like, and that's when it comes up. So I think you've done yourself proud this week by keeping the likes.
Thank you. I had totally forgotten about that. So I'm glad. But yes,
I was keeping an eye on it. I was gonna interject if you started doing it too much, but you were just too busy reading Julia a new one in there, and I was like, okay.
Thoughts. I have thoughts.
Did we get everyone? We need
pictures up.
So we'll do that by next week.
Yeah. So we'll have pictures of yes.
Yes. Should we need OC ones printed at the same time?
Right. Just the same ones from last year.
Should we get another set? What's happening after that?
We have has been announced what's coming out.
Oh, I thought there was something was already announced.
No, I think probably Salt Lake would be the next one because that's the one that's in the can. So
right, it's in the can. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, everyone seems to they also get equal time, it seems, on this show. Like
true.
Like I'm used to the other shows where it seems like the friends of are always in every episode in this, whereas other franchises, it's like, where did they go? They were not around for on Salt Lake. Brittany's not there, on 1 week, but she's there the next.
Brittany would never not allow herself to be there. She's like, oh, ding dong.
Yeah. But it's just crazy that the three friends on this show, which seems heavy for maybe that's why they thought all the friends in Potomac would work. When they had so many friends.
So many friends. Atlanta had one season where there were so many hanger-oners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm enjoying it. And I guess I'm still waiting. I'm wondering if it's going to take me the whole season before I actually get feeling,
I'm enjoying it. I'm not
feelings for these women.
I have feelings, obviously, but I'm not deep into it yet.
You're not ride or die for anyone?
No, this is not Beverly Hills or Atlanta or Salt Lake. So.
Yeah, I think I always like a nice voice of reason.
Who would that be?
And I think Guerdy is probably the voice of reason so far, because what she's saying does make sense.
Yeah.
I was expecting going into this that I would like Julia more, because I think when we watched the first season or the first couple episodes on Peacock when Miami came back, I really liked Julia. I don't
remember her at all.
I liked that she was level-headed and just kind of not no nonsense, but I liked that she just kind of didn't take shit, is what it felt like. And
I don't know where you're getting that from, because we only watched one episode.
It just seemed like she was very straightforward. I don't know why.
That's weird that you remember that. I don't remember her at all.
But I'm not finding anyone here is really all that. I'm not jumping for joy for anything.
They're not the most likable bunch, I would say. I have opinions, and I might lean more towards one person, but I'm not about to die on Melissa Hochstein Hill.
Right.
So, but I can see there's some traits that I enjoy, but I'm not sold on anybody except for Guerdy, probably.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm not strongly
Yeah. I would say Marysol and Guerdy I don't like picking a friend of as like being someone, but she's honorary, full time. I find that Alexia is the most enjoyable with her son. I think that's when she's actually just kind of being normal, and she's not like throwing on all these, oh, Todd, like when they got there to the whole party tonight. Oh, those are nice earrings. Oh, Todd picked them out. I'm like, who the hell cares if your husband picked them out? Like,
they're just good earrings.
It's Marysol's brother. He's probably like, Todd. I don't know Todd.
I'm sure I'm sure everyone and their brother has heard about. Literally, their brother has heard about Todd.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some better, impressions of people, and but yeah, I don't see myself being. It might take me the whole year. We'll see how it goes.
Good. Me too. Unless something big happens mid-season, or we haven't gotten to a girls' trip yet. That's usually a good. But having them all in the same room and forced to interact.
I just don't see anything happening where I'm like, oh, Larsa's brilliant. She's my favorite. I don't see like, Alexia, you're right. You really put her in her place. Like, I don't see that coming anytime soon,
You're winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But look, it's good having a low stakes drama.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I'm going to be with you that I'm Team Guerdy for right now.
Yes.
But I'm going to get you a shirt that says Team Guerdy.
Please. I'll wear it to PoloCon.
We need to figure out some merch.
We do.
Not just merch for the podcast.
We have ideas. We're not going to say them because
we're not going to say them. We're not going to steal them.
Yeah, don't steal it.
But
be a thief.
But yeah. We got to make sure we get some ideas that aren't vaguely copyrightable either. Some of the ones we have aren't really ours, but
we're not trying to be sued.
We're just trying to be memes, We're not trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to make something based off memes.
Right.
Which is already something,
So the shirt I wore, the Beverly Hills one, just had like all their names on it. So that's something like simple that you can't say, like you can't wear a shirt that has Beverly Hills ladies' names on it.
I think we're going to need to get something that has our bobbleheads on it, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
So.
That'll be cute.
And then if we're at BravoCon and someone yells, husband's watching Housewives, I love that show.
Like, we made it.
And we're going to be like, yes, that old lady behind us last time was right.
Right.
We should have a podcast.
Full circle.
Yes. How many minutes are we in? 37 minutes.
We should just wrap this up.
Yeah, I was gonna rant about and just like that, because I've been meaning to complain about people's hatred of that, but I'll do that next time.
Okay.
So till next time.
Till next time.